People have long admired Jason Momoa for being strong, charismatic, and seeming to be bigger than life. But not long ago, he learned something heartbreaking that shocked his friends and people close to him. Jason also couldn't get away from the well-known Hollywood drama. What will his future be like after hearing this big news after a sad discovery? As we move forward, we need to talk about the people who are engaged. The well-known Aquaman, Jason Momoa, had no idea that he would get into so much trouble. He didn't start out in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood on his way to becoming one of the most famous stars in the world. Jason was born on August 1, 1979, in Honolulu, Hawaii. He came from a unique cultural setting that would continue to shape much of his work as an adult. Jason grew up with a creative family. His mother was a photographer and his father was a painter, even though they split up when he was very young. His link to Hawaii's rich history and natural beauty shaped his views and later helped him create the characters he played on TV and in movies. He spent his early years in Norwalk, Iowa, where his mother went with him when he was a child. He never lost touch with his roots, even though his surroundings changed. The different environments he lived in Iowa and Hawaii shaped who he was, seeing life and society from a different point of view. Jason enjoyed many outdoor sports as a child, which made him appreciate nature and physical challenges for a long time. While he was in school, he was really into sports, especially football. During high school, he played football all the time, and his athleticism would later help him a lot in his work. His schooling was a very important part of his growth, in a way that wasn't like what most Hollywood stars do. In Iowa, Jason went to Norwalk High School and was involved in many things besides football, such as drama. It was there that he started to play acting by taking part in school plays. Being exposed to performance at a young age set the stage for a successful job in the entertainment business. Jason went back to Hawaii after high school to go to college at the University of Iowa and study marine biology. His love for the ocean and nature played a big role in his decision, but things would soon change for him. In Hawaii, Jason started to get noticed for how good-looking and charming he was. He was 19 years old when he was discovered at a local modeling competition. He quickly got work as a model. I don't think modeling was the right fit for him at first, but it did help him get into the entertainment business. It was easy for him to switch from modeling to acting. He got his first acting job in 1999 on the TV show Baywatch Hawaii. This was the start of his professional acting career. He met more people through the show, and it started to make him known in Hollywood. But Jason didn't really start to become known until he played Ronan Dex on Stargate Atlantis in 2005. In the science fiction field, he stood out because of how he looked and how intensely he played his parts. This was a turning point in his career because it showed how talented and versatile he was. It also set him up for bigger parts in the future. Jason's big break came when he played Khal Drogo on Game of Thrones. Even though he only had a small part, his acting will always be remembered by the show's many fans. Jason's work kept getting better over the next few years. One of his most famous roles was as Aquaman. Jason brought a new energy to the part by combining humor, strength, and emotion. He was cast as the moody but charming superhero. When it comes to interests and hobbies, Jason has always had a lot of them. His love for the outdoors stays with him, and he is well known for supporting environmental issues. Jason really cares about saving the earth, especially the oceans, and preserving its wildlife. Jason is an activist for the environment, but he also likes many other things. As an avid surfer, he stays in touch with nature and the water through his sport. One of his favorite things to do has always been surfing, and he often talks about how much he loves the sport on social media. Jason is still a normal person, even though he is famous. People who know him well and really like him love his sense of humor and laid-back personality. He has been successful in his work while also being humble and staying true to his values and principles. His honesty is part of the reason he's so popular in Hollywood, but that didn't keep him from feeling the pain of life, like when his ex-wife left him, whose 12-year-old Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa were deeply in love. He's an actor who was born on November 16, 1967 in San Francisco, California. She became famous in the 1980s and is still respected in the entertainment business today. People all over the world knew her as Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show. But her story, both personally and professionally, goes beyond this famous part. It shows a life and career full of depth, creativity, and a determination to stay true to herself. Lisa's dad was Jewish, Alan Bonet, who was an opera singer, and Arlene Bonet, who was African American and worked as a teacher. Her mixed background had a big impact on how she saw the world and who she was as a person. Lisa's parents split up before she was born, and her mother raised her mostly in Los Angeles. Lisa grew up in Los Angeles and went to Reseda High School, where she quickly found her love for the arts. Because she was interested in acting, she went to the Celluloid Actors Studio. When she graduated from high school, she took her dreams more seriously and looked for acting jobs, but the way wasn't easy. Went through hard times because she was African American, working in a field where racial stereotypes were common. Lisa got her big break when she was cast as Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show in 1984. Denise is the daughter of Cliff and Claire Huxtable. Her easy charm and cool, laid-back attitude struck a chord with people, and she quickly became a societal icon. Lisa's career took a different turn after she left The Cosby Show in 1987. Her part on the show was a big deal in Hollywood. She chose to move away from popular commercial roles and work on projects that were more in line with her artistic interests. After that, Lisa played Marie DeSalle, a wild teen girl in the movie Angel Heart with Mickey Rourke. Lisa always chose parts that went against what most people would expect from her. She was in movies like Biker Boys and High Fidelity. Lisa always chose movies on purpose, which shows that she wanted to push herself and stay away from being typecast. She made it clear that she didn't want to be limited to a certain type of art or picture. Lisa was known for being private and hard to find when she wasn't playing. She never liked being in the spotlight in Hollywood or living the normal life of a celebrity. Lisa mostly stayed home and thought about her own life, and she avoided public events and talks a lot. The details of both her personal and work lives were unknown. This amount of privacy made her even more mysterious, which made her fans want to know more about her. Another important part of her life is her interest in spiritual and healing practices. Lisa has talked a lot about her spirituality, her deep link to nature, and her desire to live an honest life. She is known for becoming a vegan and showing interest in alternative forms of health, such as yoga and meditation. All through her life, she has always been determined to live in balance with herself and her surroundings. Lisa had an effect on people outside of Hollywood. People looked up to her because of her unique beauty and her ability to be herself in a business that often makes people feel like they have to fit in. Many people were inspired by her style, which was often easygoing and casual. Lisa's way of life has always been about being herself, not apologizing, and living life on her own terms. She has had an impact on fashion trends and how women in Hollywood showed themselves. She never changed based on trends or what people thought she should do. She has always been a unique and important person in Hollywood. Many people look up to her because she is dedicated to her work, values privacy, and wants to be true to herself. They respect how she manages to be successful at work and in her personal life. Lisa and Jason were both role models for many, but their relationship had its ups and downs, which is why Jason made such a big deal. What did happen? The marriage ends. Jason and Lisa's relationship didn't start out like most Hollywood love stories do. It was almost fate that they met. Jason was born and raised in Hawaii and was a rising star in the entertainment business when he met Lisa, who was an experienced actress best known for her iconic part on The Cosby Show. They did not meet on a movie set or at a fancy Hollywood event, though. Jason has said that he saw Lisa for the first time when he was a teenager, a long time before they met in real life. Adria was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico on April 25, 1992. Her mother was an actress from Puerto Rico and her father was a businessman from Guatemala. They raised her in a very different culture setting. Adria's mix of backgrounds made her become a woman who sees the world in a broad way. You could find her in Puerto Rico for part of her youth. There she learned about arts and Latin American culture. She knew about her mother's job when she was a child, but it wasn't until much later that she understood how much she wanted to do the same. Adria had strong ties to her Latin American background, but when she was young, her family moved to the United States. She had to get used to new people and things, but it also gave her a chance to pursue her dream of becoming an actress. Her family's past wasn't the only thing that made her want to work in show business. It was because she loved the art form. Adria was interested in acting and playing from a very young age. This set her on the path that would eventually take her to Hollywood. Adria's education was very important to her job path. She went to the famous Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute in New York City after moving to the United States. This school is known for training many great actors. Adria got better at playing and learned all the ins and outs of the business here. The time she spent at the institute taught her a lot about acting, which gave her the courage to go into the tough entertainment business. Adria didn't rush through school, even though she wanted to work in Hollywood. She knew how important it was to learn and improve as an actress before becoming famous. She learned techniques that would help her handle different roles in TV and movies at Lee Strasberg, which is where she developed the skills that would serve her well throughout her work. In many ways, school was her launch pad. It was where she could develop her interest and turn it into a set of skills. Adria's career started in New York, but she quickly moved to Los Angeles to try to make it in Hollywood. Early on, she had small parts in TV shows, such as guest appearances on famous shows like Person of Interest and Law & Order. However, even though they were short, these early parts helped her build her acting resume and learn important skills for the tough world of TV. In 2016, she got her big break when she got a regular role on the hit show Emerald City, which was a modern take on The Wizard of Oz. With her parts in movies, Adria's business started to take off. She played the lead role in Pacific Rim in 2018. The movie did well at the box office, and Adria's part in it cemented her place among Hollywood's rising young stars. Andor, which takes place in the same world, Adria's career would go in a new direction with this part, which would bring her to even more people. It was the same year that she met Jason Momoa on the set of Sweet Girl. It set off a chain reaction because Jason was already divorced from Lisa at the time, but no one knew about it. The very important news: the path that Jason Momoa has taken through love, emotional growth, and career change has not been a normal one. A lot of people are also interested in Jason's life outside of acting, especially his relationships and how he handled his divorce from Lisa Bonet and his later relationship with Adria Arjuna. These big events in his life have caused a big change in his personal life. They have opened a new chapter full of fresh starts, self-discovery, and career growth. The relationship between Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet looked like it was meant for fame. Things started to change, though, as time went on. In 2022, after being together for more than 15 years, Jason and Lisa said they were splitting up. People who had been fans of their relationship for a long time were shocked by the news. In a united statement, they said that they were the ones who decided to end the relationship because they both wanted to grow as people. It was clear that the choice to split up was hard for both of them, even though there was no public hostility or scandal surrounding it. Jason learned the heartbreaking truth. They are going separate ways, and their lives no longer work together. After the heartbreaking finding, Jason Momoa made a big speech. "I've decided what to do. It's time for me to move on and deal with it." It was during this time that Jason's personal growth started to take root. Into the picture walks Adria Arjuna, an actor who was already on the rise in Hollywood. They started dating while he was having a hard time with Lisa, which is why he made the choice. A lot of people were surprised at first, but it was clear right away that Jason and Adria had a strong connect with each other. Jason's new relationship seemed more low-key and private than his last one. He and Adria were both taking their time to strengthen their relationship. In Jason's case, it was important to be careful and thoughtful in this new partnership, making sure that he and Adria were ready for the next step. Adria's life and career were both growing at the time. Her recent part in Andor had gotten her a lot of praise. It looked like Jason and Adria were connected for more than just love of the same things or fame. It started with both of them knowing each other's personal and professional goals. They found comfort in each other. As they dealt with the stresses of Hollywood while trying to stay true to who they were. As Jason started a new chapter with Adria, he was also starting a new chapter in his own life. With years of going through the ups and downs of Hollywood relationships behind him, Jason was finally more sure of who he was and what he wanted after moving forward. Finally, he's not in a hurry to do anything. He's letting the friendship grow naturally without any expectations or pressure. As Jason continues to figure out his personal and professional life, he is without a doubt on a road full of opportunities. Jason's future looks better than ever, whether he's starring in hit movies, working on new artistic projects, or being happy with his relationship with Adria. His story shows how strong people can be, how they can grow, and how powerful change can be. Is this the start of a new story? Or should Jason be sad? Share your thoughts below.